Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your boy James from What's Your Forte, and today we are going to be dynoing my G80 M3. So for those that haven't been following with the channel so far, I just installed the RaceChip GTS Black on my G80 M3. That install was pretty simple. It wasn't too hard. There was one sensor that was kind of tough to get to, but the rest of them were pretty easy. Test drove the car right after the install. The car feels great. So today we're actually going to see what kind of power it's putting down. So on the most aggressive map, which is map 7, they are estimating about 550 wheel, about 560 torque. So we're going to test it today to see if those numbers are accurate. I'm going to be dynoing the car on a dyno jet here at EuroMpire. So make sure to give them a follow. Make sure to give RGSport a follow for getting this shipped out to me super quick, and also RaceChip tuning. So at this point, my car is running 93. I put Shell V-Power 93 in it, so it's the best gas that you can get, and it's actually what BMW recommends. So today we're going to see what kind of power it's putting down. So right now in the comments, y'all go ahead, comment down below, what do you think the power that it's going to put down? You think it's going to be 550? Think it's going to be more like 530? I always like to lower my expectations, so I'm going to say about 545. I say 540, 530 is what I'm thinking it'll put down. Maybe like 535 horse, 540 torque is what I'm expecting. But the car does feel great. It pulls strong all the way to red line, and the power is very linear. But one thing that I found out after installing the RaceChip in my previous video is that the actual default maps are not the most aggressive. So when you go over, I'm showing you guys right now on my screen, when you go over the fine tuning, by default, as you see, I have it 7, 5, and 3. But the default setting is 6, 5, and 3. 7 is the most aggressive setting, and that's gonna give you the most power. So I ended up changing the 7, ended up changing the race mode to 7 from 6. So as you see right here, you can go 6 for race or 7. So I went ahead and did 7 for race. So that's the most aggressive setting, and driving the car on 7, it's a difference from, I ain't gonna say it's like a huge difference from 6, but it is a difference, and you can actually feel it. So today I've been driving around on 7, and I'm actually gonna dyno the car at 7, the most aggressive setting, to see what those numbers are. So let's go ahead and get into the dyno. It's a party today at EuroMpire Dyno Day. We got a lot of cars here. Race and then sport. so the dyno's complete. Let's talk numbers. So we've dynoed the car first in 6th gear, since that's the 1-to-1. But we kind of figured we may hit the speed limiter, and we did, but we still got numbers, but the graph is a little cut off, and I'll be able to show y'all on the screen right here. So when we dynoed in 6th gear, we was able to get 568 horse and about 584 pound-feet of torque before hitting the speed limiter. So pretty respectable numbers, but we did hit the speed limiter right around 6K or so. So we went ahead and put it in 5th gear, and we also dynoed the first time in 5th gear so as well. So that'll give you a real direct comparison of the gains. So when we're looking at a 5th gear pool, the first run in 5th gear with the race mode activated, we was able to get 552 horse and around 579 pound-feet of torque, which compared to stock is like plus 63 horse, about a plus 93 torque gain. So that is very, very good. Very, very impressive. Good job, RaceChip. So to put it in perspective, my stage 1 boot mode tune for my F82 M4 was around 60 horse and about 100 torque. So this RaceChip piggyback is giving about the same amount of power as my boot mode stage 1 tune. Now, I do want to state, flash tunes are better than piggybacks. They control a little bit, they change a little bit more the parameters, timing and stuff like that. Flash tunes are always going to be better than piggybacks, but for a piggyback to give you this amount of much an increase, it's very, very impressive. So let's go ahead. So what I did also was dyno in sport mode, which is the default mode they give you, and also dyno in eco mode. So let's take a look at those numbers as well. When we take a look at sport mode, so putting the car in sport mode, we was able to get 535 horsepower and around 538 pound-feet of torque. It's very, very respectable numbers. And then we put the car in eco mode, which is map 3. Sport mode is map 5, eco mode is map 3. So in map 3, we was able to get 519 horse and then 511 pound-feet of torque. So each map does increase over the stock baseline numbers that we was able to get, and just shows you that the gains are great, man. I mean, the gains are great, and regardless of whatever mode you use, you're gonna have gains. One other thing interesting is you can look at the dyno graph here is you don't really see any changes in the power until about 4,800 RPM. So it seems like right around there is where they started really adding boost and everything right there to really change it. Because if you look at the graph, everything's about the same as stock up until about 45, 48. And then you'll really feel the kick in the pants and the difference from the power added depending on which mode you're in. So that just helps with drivability, and also helps when you want to just drive around town, keep it low in the RPM range. It's going to feel like stock. Then when you really punch it and get into it, that's when you're going to really feel that difference and that kick in the pants from the RaceChip tune. Oh, I'm sorry, from the RaceChip piggyback. So that's the numbers, man. So one other tidbit of information that I want to share with you guys is today's super hot. It's about 93 degrees outside. Inside the shop is close to 100, and we were still able to achieve these numbers. So super impressive. And I'm also I'm running 93 octane for those that may be wondering. So 93 octane and like 93 degree heat, still able to pull in very impressive numbers. Next up, I will be doing some draggy runs, comparing it to stock, and then also doing draggy runs on the race mode to see what the differences are. So if you want to see that content, please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post those videos, all right? So that's going to be today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.